A little bad news about the Detroit though. You can see I sealed it up because my duct tape work did not go so well. I put a piece of cardboard over it. It's not the best solution, but it'll certainly be a little better than just nothing but tape. While in the process of it though, I noticed that there's water sitting at the bottom of the blower there, the blower housing. That's not good at all. And then I found this. I'm guessing some of the Detroit enthusiasts already can guess what part of this is. And if you aren't one and you can't really identify that piece, that is part of one of the two impellers that move in a corkscrew pattern in here to create the positive air pressure for the Detroit motor. That is a part of one. So probably that's our blower rebuild. That'll cost me about $1,000. And I'm sure the rest of the motor ain't looking too hot either. I know the head ain't looking too bad. The rack moves. I don't know about the injectors and the whether they're stuck or not. I'm sure they needs a little work on it. I'm probably gonna put bigger injectors in it anyways. But yeah, that's not good news. But the good news, going to good news, is that, well, I didn't put this back on properly, but I just half-assed it and threw it back on just to cover that up from any major rusting, you know, just threw it back on. I tried to put this on the Mighty till only discovered that there's a spacer in between the frame right there, which lengthens the front of the tractor away from the rear. I'm going to guess probably for that reversal torque then. But this doesn't do anything. It just covers the front of the platform, and there's like a 3-inch gap in between instrument panel base and the rear end of the tractor here. But I took this front end hydraulic cover off. As you saw on Instagram, there's a picture of it, and it looks pretty decent, other than the bottom of it having a little bit of residue, looks like. She doesn't look too bad. The inside doesn't look too bad on the rear, but the sad part is that this is loose.
I'll pry it off right now. Let me try that.
That worked much better than I anticipated. I took a screwdriver at the end on it. Oh yeah, that ain't good. There's rust where it says full there, and then on the end, that's got some rust on it. Yeah, that's not good. The seal, the O-ring right there, does not feel very dry rotted. And it looks like it's holding decently well. So, that's not good. The more and more I dig into this, the less and less it looks to be appealing to me. Don't get me wrong. Well, appealing is not the right word here. Salvageable, there we go. Because I'm sure all of you know this, but at some point when a project adds up to just be too much money, I don't think I can afford it. And honestly, I've seen parts tractors in better condition, Detroit parts tractors in better condition than this, that were parted out. So honestly, I wouldn't feel too guilty parting it out, but on the other hand, it's Detroit, and honestly, these tractors are hard to come by. But you know, sometimes you got to make a sacrifice to keep another one going. And considering, and if you just look at this thing, I mean, this thing's been beat to hell and back. And considering it doesn't even have the right front end on it, that's just showing you something right there. Something happened with that. And I found out a little something cool. I was digging in here with some sort of tool like this that has a sharp edge, and I found the original key for it and an old screwdriver from like the 50s that had a wooden handle on it. But it broke on me while I was trying to use it because it's pretty much rotted out. And there's a new key switch in it though. So I'm gonna guess the farmer lost the keys for it and it got buried in the dirt there. And he just bought a new key switch, or there's probably more to it than that. This thing doesn't have a wiring harness or shit though. Sorry I'm swearing so much, but I'm just, you know, if you guys can't handle it, that's fine. If there's youngsters watching the video, you know, don't listen to what I do, don't swear. Just don't do it. But as you can see here, the top rear seal on this, those shims ain't looking too bad. The inside of the cap's pretty dry. The outside wasn't so happy to look good either, but there's the inside of it. Most of that's oil. So that's a good thing. I'm going to put that back on here in a little bit because obviously you don't want to leave that in the wide open. That's not good, good for it. But if there's any other points on here that you guys would like me to check, obviously I'm going to drain the oil at some point, and then the rear trans fluid, I'm going to drain that, or trans water I should say. It's probably got a ton of water in there, considering this gear shift boot lever is pretty much just dry rotted, and I don't really have anything to put around it to seal it. But that brings me back to the question of, do I keep it or part it? Because, I mean, you can just look at it and tell me that it's had a rough life. Look at that. That's a fix. It had a cab mounts on it. It doesn't even have the front support for this, for a battery box. That's gone. I took this for the Mighty Toe, by the way. I don't know why that's missing. There's nothing special here. It's just a straight drive line. Fuel tank's missing. That's one of the little higher up sellers, you know, kind of crucial. Obviously no battery. I ain't gonna lie though, the battery box is really good looking. No rust at all, hardly, for sitting wide open. Of course, it sat down in southern Missouri for most of its life, so then again, I ain't surprised entirely either. That's a suggestion that it's shot. Of course, it sat wide open at the guy's place for 15 years, so then again, that doesn't come as a surprise to me. The oil, there's oil in it. No shavings that I can see whatsoever, but as you can see, it's pretty runny. So that's probably contaminated with a bit of water. That's not going to be good. I haven't even bothered to open up the bottom of the radiator, but I can tell you from the top that there's nothing in it from up there in the tank. Yeah, that's not even tightened all the way down. That's broke. That's a makeshift fix. I don't even think I'd pull something heavy out in the field with that not breaking. I'd probably be put out of commission. Trying to rig all this stuff would be fun. I take that up. There's a little port right there for like your manifold temperature, or I guess your mixture settings, like for your pump. I don't know. If you wanted to get specific, there's a little port right there you just screw something into. But I plugged that up because that was wide open. Took the exhaust off, just sat that on top of there. No, there's no openings. Yes, it stayed on through wind. We had 60 miles per hour wind a while ago, and it stayed on. Take that up. I'm gonna try to take that off right now. So I just tried to take that off. As you can see, there's a little bit of rust stripped off on the threads there. I did unwind that, only to come to find out that this is rusted on. I can sit here and swivel it though, but for some reason I won't let it go. So that's just unknown. I don't even know if there's any oil left in it. It's probably all water, considering that the cans that were on top of it were essentially those metal coffee cans, but with holes in them. You know, that ain't good. What was I gonna look at? Came over here to look at something. Oh, bottom of this. Yeah. That ain't very good. Let me get up under here. Oh, I'll just hold the camera up under there. If you all saw that, full of rust. Even the filter's got a little bit on there. Let me take that out for you. Well, here it is. Honestly, for sitting out for so long, it ain't too bad. Oh, I take it back. There's some wasp nests in there. That could be better. Of course, being wide open, the bottom's the only part of it that really took the brunt of it. But I have no bottom for that canister, and I don't know if an 1850 canister would work for it. So, that's questionable. I took this off a good while ago, and there's rust in there. That ain't good either. I have no idea on the condition of the starter. It's probably shot, considering it has done nothing for 15 years. And I think the selling point is it free? Yes and no. Yes, because it does spin, but it is very, very tight. I think my dad stuck it in 6th gear. We were past the trailer over there, dragging it, just kind of messing around with it at that point. And he stuck it in 6th and dumped it while I was pulling it with the 770. It stopped for it just stopped this entire machine. This unit locked up and stopped where it was. stop the 770 and start. And here you go. Here's a good example. Those are ruts from trying to move this thing around from the 770. There's a still here after, I don't know, 8 months. They're still there. I've yet to fill them in with dirt, but they were much more prominent. The first pictures of it, I can clearly show you where the ruts were. I'll probably slide those in here in about a second. But, yeah. Dump the clutch. It's locked up. Then it started moving. I didn't see it, but I saw the wheels start moving. But he says that it was very, very, very reluctant to spin, which is a cause for concern, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been sitting for 15 years, but that's just not good. Yeah, that's not good. And I do believe there is fuel in here. Yeah, oh yeah. But that smells bad. That smells like bad fuel. And that's almost a red color. But if I remember correctly, I think that's off-road diesel. Anyways, guys, y'all can slide down in the comments below and tell me what you think. I don't know. There's so many pros and cons to measure out here that, you know, it kind of boggles your mind. There's pros because of this front end. I mean, that's a 2150 front end, or 2050. They're the same models other than the clutch and turbocharger, essentially. But same design, original cylinders. That's basically that entire setup right there. That is a 2150 2050 front end setup that was mounted to this. That's a plus. But the minus, that one got welded. This one's tight as can be, because I think somebody welded it or really got it tight. But that's barely even hanging on the joint. That pin's got so much slop, not even funny. That's darn near ready to come off. There's nothing holding it on. I don't even want to know what the kingpin looks like. It's probably, oh hell, it's welded on. It's cracked. Cracked right there, welded in, welded on. That's shot.
There's only this much weld holding me on from the base plate to the secondary base plate. A couple of eye stretches here, about 1.5 to 2 feet long. That's welded top and bottom, and this is welded all the way to this plate right here. That's about a 1/8 inch thick steel. It's got 3 bolts mounted to the frame.
And the steering cylinders, I don't even know if they work. Hydraulic pump, that's questionable. Rear end, I haven't even opened up the rear. Oh yeah, we did. There was water in it. Never mind. Sorry, I had to think about that one. Really messed up system. Yeah, like I said, leave down in the comments below. I honestly don't know anymore. There's so many different ups and downs to this thing. You can make this a puller tractor, strip it all down, rebuild it. Or I could make this a farm tractor with what's here.
Anyways, folks, I was rambling on here and here about what I could do and what I could not do with it, and pretty much the options are straightforward. But yeah, comment down below what you think the fate of this thing should be. I'm still deciding on what it should be myself. Any comments really helpful to either side. I'm neutral right now. But thanks for commenting and watching this video. I reassembled that plug there. My wrench is all good, put back in the case and are back in the shop. Oh, and I'm just explaining here that it has a dual speed PTO. So, for your information there. That is the one thing I would take off of it if I part it, though, and keep it myself, would be the fuel fenders and the dual-speed PTO. I think that's about it. Everything else is pretty much useless to me because the drawbar's broken and whatnot's broken, you know, so on and so forth. But anyways, like I said, leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, show some support here. It makes me want to make more videos and produce them for you because it just, you know, you guys are interested in the stuff, I'll keep making it. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, as I've said the 1,000,000th time.